Good morning. I'm Scott Hall. After a career as a packaging engineer, I bought a 15-room inn. I've now been in the industry for the last 8 years. I began as a customer and now apply what I learned as an owner to work as a specialist on the Think marketing team. I love working with clients on their marketing strategies and looking for answers in their data. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that matters to every independent property, no matter your size, location, or brand personality. We're going to look at what actually works in hospitality marketing today, right now, in this new era where traveler discovery has changed again. My goal for the next hour is not to overwhelm you with theories. My goal is to give you clarity, tools, and a new way to look at your online presence so you can walk away from this presentation confident in what you should focus on. Independent properties will have advantages big brands simply cannot replicate. And when you combine those advantages with visibility and data, it becomes a powerful formula. This is a practical session. It's grounded in what we see across more than 100 properties, what's measurably working and what's shifting as AI reshapes traveler behavior. A lot of marketing conversations drift into trends, shiny tools, or nice to have ideas. But when you strip it all down, the thing that matters is simple. What actually drives bookings right now? So this presentation is built around that, because if something doesn't influence bookings, it doesn't deserve your time. The properties that grow aren't necessarily the most active. They're the most focused. They understand what drives the click, what earns trust, what creates visibility, and what turns browsers into guests. Our time today is rooted in those fundamentals. So let's dig into it. Hospitality marketing keeps shifting and the pace of change is accelerating. We've watched traveler discovery evolve from print to mobile search and now into the AI era. Each shift has completely changed how guests find you. Think about the last time you personally searched for a place to stay. You probably didn't start with a long form Google search. Maybe you saw something on social. Maybe you browsed TikTok or Instagram. Maybe you looked at a Google Travel price grid. Maybe you read a review. That's the new world your guest lives in. And this shift matters because it affects how you show up, how you can get found, and how guests decide. We're no longer in a linear search world. We're in a discovery world. We see Google Analytics, revenue, and traffic data shifting from desktop to mobile more and more. The value of the reservation on mobile is increasing too. I've seen $10,000 plus reservations made on mobile devices, which at the time really surprised me, and I suspect it surprises you as well. A lot of the strategies that use to reliably work in hospitality simply don't hit the same way anymore. A website alone used to be enough. A few SEO tweaks used to carry real weight. Listing your amenities used to be the selling point. Now the marketplace is noisier. Guests have more options. Big platforms shape what they see before they ever see you. And the technology has shifted the expectations of travelers. That doesn't mean that the fundamentals are gone. It means we have to update how we execute them. One theme you'll hear again today is this: your digital presence must feel alive. Not perfect, not fancy, just alive. The modern traveler's journey looks nothing like the old funnel. Guests hit multiple touch points, often in random order. They discover you on one platform, compare you on another, read reviews on a third, and book somewhere else entirely. They may come back to your website multiple times. They may use different search queries depending on the platform or channel. It is no longer a straight path. It's messy and non-linear. Most travelers hit at least 5 points before making a decision. This means your brand has to carry through consistently across each place they encounter you. If your website looks great, but your Google listing looks dated, the trust drops. If your price looks perfect on your site, but shows up incorrectly on Google Travel, the trust drops. A weak link in the journey can cost you a booking. Annie Buck is talking about AI in more detail for ThinkGrowth, but we're going to think about it in relation to the considerations for your marketing strategy. AI is not just replacing search, it's reshaping it. AI tools like Google Search Generative Experience, ChatGPT, and Bing's AI-driven search analyze not just keywords, but context, review, accuracy, freshness, and credibility. They blend together information from a dozen places to generate an answer. This means your presence is evaluated holistically. Your photos, your descriptions, your reviews, your rates, and your consistency matter more than ever. AI favors properties that look active, updated, and accurate. And because AI heavily relies on structured signals, we have to think like both humans and machines when we present your property online. Fresh data and consistent information are now visibility drivers. As people use their AI tools more, it learns about what they prefer or look for and reference that learning in future results. If it knows I like to look for the best local lunch joint when I travel, it may give me that answer without me even asking for that recommendation and include it. Airbnb didn't just change booking channels, it changed traveler expectations and even the language of lodging. For younger travelers especially, the lines between a B&B, a boutique inn, and a vacation rental have blurred. Many of them simply assume a place to stay will be unique, personal, and flexible. They aren't carrying the traditional B&B definition in their head. That means if you run a classic inn, you can't rely on guests automatically understanding what makes you special. You have to educate them with your story, your visuals, and your voice. You have to help them understand the experience you deliver, and you have to do it on platforms where they're already looking. There's hope. These travelers are ready to stay at your property because they want the services and experiences you offer. They can afford more and want it. They don't want to stay at a place where there's a chore list on the fridge and they have to start the housekeeping process before they leave. Your high-touch hospitality experience is what they want. The apps and text tools you use to communicate or provide guests what might have been in a guest book in the past now allows the guest to get that information when they need it or want it. When you strip away noise, 4 things shape most booking decisions: price, photos, reviews, and location. These are the pillars guests scan within seconds. They are not reading your amenities list at this stage. They're not digging through paragraphs of copy. They're doing a quick vibe check. Do you look trustworthy? Do the visuals match the price? Do the reviews support the story you're telling? Does the location fit their needs? If your visibility is strong, those 4 elements align, you win the click. And once you win the click, you have a real chance to convert. Video is becoming even more important because everyone now creates video on their phone and travelers crave authenticity. Why does it matter? It's harder to surprise people. It's harder to hide imperfections. They can see the real space. It builds trust. It matches how people shop today. It feels more personal. Even the simplest clicks, like a slow pan of a sunset or the sound of water along your shoreline, can shift perception. Video has become one of the most influential formats in travel search. YouTube now functions as a major search engine where travelers look for inspiration, walkthroughs, and real guest experiences before deciding where to stay. People are also increasingly using visual search tools like Google Lens to identify places, check photos, and discover pricing and reviews simply by pointing their camera. Together, YouTube and image-based search are reshaping how travelers research destinations, compare lodging options, and build trust long before they land on your website. I want to frame price in a new way because this changes everything. Your price is your billboard. It is the first impression in Google Travel and on OTAs. Appearing before a single photo loads or a single word of your story is read, guests make snap judgments based on that number. If the price feels aligned with the experience, your visual suggests they click. If it feels too low or too high for what they see, they scroll past without a second thought. Price is emotional. It communicates quality, confidence, value, and trust before anything else has the chance to. To make price work as a strategic signal, instead of just a number, you need to dig deeper. Evaluate whether your pricing strategy matches the guest you actually want to attract. Pricing is not one size fits all. A romantic retreat, an adventure lodge, and a budget-friendly inn cannot follow the same playbook. Your price should reflect your positioning and reinforce the type of experience you promise. Identify the right competitors and make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Travelers evaluate price in context, but many properties compare themselves to mismatched competitors. Look at properties with similar amenities, style, service level, location appeal, and guest expectations. This is the benchmark that shapes how travelers interpret your rates. Regularly analyze your price performance, not just your occupancy. Ask whether the rate you chose actually delivered the outcome you expected. Did a higher rate hurt conversion? Did a lower rate fill rooms but sacrifice profitability? Are certain seasons or room types underperforming? Data gives you the clarity to refine, test, and repeat with intention. This expanded approach helps shift pricing from a reactive decision to a deliberate strategy. When your price aligns with your story and your value, it becomes a powerful signal that draws the right guest in and strengthens the entire booking journey. Trust is the currency of bookings. Guests decide where to stay based on whether they feel confident choosing you, and that your confidence is built through a series of small but powerful signals. Updated photos, recent reviews, clear and accurate amenities, consistent branding across every platform, all work together to reassure guests that what they see is what they get. To strengthen those signals, focus on the details that shape a traveler's first impression. Keep your photos fresh and true to the experience. Outdated or overly staged images create uncertainty, while current and realistic visuals instantly build credibility. Make sure your reviews are recent, balanced, and responded to. Activity signals care. A property with ongoing guest feedback feels alive and trustworthy. Ensure your amenities are clearly listed and accurate. Even small inconsistencies like a missing breakfast note or unclear Wi-Fi info can create friction and doubt. Maintain consistency across every channel where guests find you. Your website, Google listings, OTAs, and social platforms should present the same story, same tone, and same level of care. When one channel is polished but another is outdated, the disconnect erodes trust. Each touch point should work together to remove doubt. When guests see alignment across platforms, they feel secure choosing you, and that security is what drives bookings. This might surprise some of you, but the data proves it again and again. Visibility often beats amenities. The better property does not always win. The more visible property usually does. A place with an incredible breakfast and beautifully updated rooms can lose to a property with average amenities simply because that competitor has stronger listings, fresher photos, and better digital presence. Guests cannot choose you if they cannot find you. They cannot want you if they cannot see you. Visibility is no longer optional. It is your frontline advantage. To stay competitive, staying on top of your listings is essential. Yes, old guest photos may still be out there, but the real question is whether the new, accurate, appealing photos are there too. Your visuals need to represent your property today, not 2 years ago. Think of your photos the same way you think of building maintenance. If you neglect them, things start to look tired and out of date. The good news is that capturing fresh visuals has never been easier. We all carry our phones all day long, and moments worth sharing happen constantly. If you learn to recognize those moments as opportunities and simply pause to capture them, you build a library of authentic images that guests respond to. Your phone is capable of taking incredible images, and even simple updates can make a difference. But if you have made upgrades or refreshed your interior and have not brought in a professional photographer yet, it may be time. You invested in the improvements. Now you need to sell them visually. Visibility works when what guests see matches the experience you want them to expect. Your Google business profile is now the real front door of your property. More people visit it than your homepage. For some travelers, it's the only place they look before booking. When your profile has new photos, updated information, accurate amenities, and a steady flow of recent reviews, it signals reliability. A fresh Google listing makes you feel alive, and guests prefer businesses that look alive. This is low effort, high impact marketing. When we look at how travelers shop for lodging, Google Business Profile plays a very different role than Google Travel, OTAs, Airbnb, or TripAdvisor. Google Business Profile is not a marketplace. It is a fast, high intent information panel that people use to confirm basic details and to get an immediate sense of trust. Think of it as the front door to your online presence. When someone searches your name or a phrase, near me, Google Business Profile is usually the first thing they see. They are looking for quick answers like location, photos, reviews, and the starting price. Decisions here happen in seconds. The goal is to reassure the traveler that your property looks real, reliable, and worth clicking into. Meta search is becoming the new marketplace where most comparisons happen. Platforms like Google Travel, TripAdvisor, and other major aggregators pull live pricing feeds directly from your property management system or central reservation system, creating a real-time display of your competitiveness. In this space, accuracy is everything. When your price displays correctly and consistently, your visibility increases. When there are gaps, errors, or mismatches across channels, your presence drops and guests move on. This matters because your meta search is the moment of truth. It is where travelers line you up next to your competitors and make quick decisions based on price, photos, reviews, and availability. If your rates are wrong, outdated, missing, or simply not aligned with your strategy, you lose the comparison before a guest ever sees your website. Getting your price right is in meta search is one of the highest ROI improvements you can make. It strengthens visibility, protects your direct bookings, and puts you in the best possible position at the exact moment travelers are deciding where to stay. Paid visibility is not about buying attention. It's about capturing intent that already exists. Travelers are already searching for places to stay, already comparing options, already deciding where they want to go. Paid media simply positions you where they are looking. Owning your brand name in Google Ads protects you from OTAs and competitors who might otherwise capture guests searching specifically for you. Brand campaigns and Performance Max ads ensure that when someone types your name or looks for properties like yours, you show up first. And Google Hotel Ads taps into some of the strongest intent in the entire funnel because those guests are seconds away from choosing a property. To get real value from paid visibility, you have to know what is working. Tracking each campaign separately shows which ads are driving revenue and which ones are just noise. Not all paid media is equal, and understanding the difference is what turns paid visibility into profit, not just spend. Let's break down the ad types you'll see because each one plays a different role. Smart ads are beginner friendly, but offer limited control. Think of them as training wheels. They can be a good start, but from a long-term perspective, they're not going to be ideal because there are many settings that can't be adjusted or changed. Google Hotel Ads can be free ads or paid cost per click ads that appear in Google Business Profile and Google Travel. And they require a connection to Hotel Center. The check availability button in your Google Business Profile is your free Google Hotel ad. The property promotion ads placed in the carousel, a space usually dominated by OTAs and large hotel chains. Search ads and responsive search ads let you target specific words, especially for brand protection. They're reliable, predictable, and flexible. Responsive search ads use multiple assets to create dynamic variation that match users' intent. Performance Max is Google's AI workhorse. It reaches across YouTube, display, maps, Gmail, search, and discovery. It's powerful but not transparent. It too uses multiple assets similar to a responsive search ad, but it works without keywords and relies on buyer behavior to decide when your ad should appear, similar to how Google serves relevant search results. A sales intent campaign is designed to drive immediate action from travelers who are ready to book or compare rates. A lead generation campaign serves a different purpose, capturing inquiries for weddings, events, or group stays where guests need pricing, packages, or custom details before they commit. Understanding these tools helps you spend wisely. You do not need to use everything. You just need to use the right mix for your goals. Like pricing strategy, your ad strategy should be specific to your property. Measuring Google ad results is imperative. You need to be looking at your ROAS or return on ad spend consistently. The expectation will be market specific. For example, a market that has a lot of properties bidding on ad placement, the cost will be higher and therefore the ROAS lower. Also, if your market may have a lot of people considering your market, your ROAS may be lower. For example, a location or region that has a high search volume like Cape Cod or Outer Banks. We see returns on Google Ads anywhere from 4x to 20x of ad spend in a month. Your ROAS will vary from month to month, and the strategy of changes to that ad will vary based on performance. Because you got a 20x return in 1 month doesn't necessarily mean you can expect to maintain that result over a longer period. Your ads should be connected to your Google Analytics account to track similar to other marketing channels. Click-through rate is a ratio of the impressions, or the ads served, to the clicks. Average cost per click is just what it implies. The average CPC will be low where a particular ad placement cost is low, or much higher in more competitive placements. Clicks can be an SEO alternative depending on the conversion goals. Typically, this is not a long-term strategy. Now let's shift to Facebook and Instagram, because while Google captures intent, Meta captures attention and desire. These platforms are not the first place guests go when they're looking to book, but they are incredibly powerful in shaping how people imagine their trip and who they want to stay with. And we need to separate two things: boosting and meta ads. Boosting is great for quick reach. A lot of you use boosting, and there's nothing wrong with it. Boost a photo, boost an event, an announcement, boost a seasonal message. You'll get likes, comments, and some small waves of visibility. Boosting is lightweight marketing. It creates awareness, but it's not the same as running meta ads. Meta ads give you control. You choose the objective, you choose the audience, you choose the placement. This is where you run campaigns focused on website conversions, room bookings, or lead generation. This is where you can retarget website visitors, repeat guests, or people who engage with you on social media. This is similar to Google CPC on the Meta platforms. Boosting is dipping your toe in the water. Meta ads is swimming with purpose. And remember, people dream on Instagram and Facebook long before they book. Give them something worth dreaming about. Let's move into how AI decides what to show travelers. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts in hospitality marketing. AI rewards accuracy. AI rewards engagement. AI rewards consistency, and AI punishes stale content. If your photos are old, your hours are wrong, your amenities are missing, or your rates are inconsistent, the machine marks you as less trustworthy. This isn't personal, it's pattern matching. AI wants to recommend businesses that look alive, cared for, and engage with their guests. This is why a small independent property with updated photos and clean data can outperform a larger competitor with outdated information. You can't always beat big budgets, but you can absolutely beat stale data. And yes, we're still early in AI-generated travel recommendations, but the pattern is already clear. Properties that maintain a living digital presence rise to the top. 6 months ago, AI landing pages delivered just a small trickle of sessions. Today, top performers are seeing 100 or more of those same sessions in 30 days. And the growth trajectory suggests this channel will only keep expanding. If you're looking for a quick win, or you want something to focus on in the next week, this is your list. Ask yourself, are we easily findable in Maps, Search, and Meta? Are your photos newer than 12 months old? Do our rates display correctly across Google Travel, our website, and OTAs? These 3 areas create more booking friction than almost anything else, and they're simple fixes. You don't need a consultant to do this. You just need 30 minutes and a checklist. If these are not clean and correct, no amount of social posting or paid ads will make up for it. Start with visibility, build trust through accuracy. There is a moment of choice where the guest finally decides who they're staying with. And the moment is almost always emotional. Guests rarely say, I chose this property because it had 4 more amenities. They choose because something felt right. The story felt warm. The photos felt inviting or exciting in them. The reviews felt reassuring. Something sparked a sense of safety or comfort, or excitement. This is why every part of your digital presence matters. These small impressions accumulate until the guest feels ready to choose you. Emotion wins the booking. Features just justify it afterwards. So always ask yourself, how does our online presence make people feel in the first 3 seconds on your website, association, or other channel listings? Tell your story like a host. This is where independent properties shine. You're not a corporation. You are a real place run by real people, and guests want to feel that. If you want to misspell a word and make it fun, you can do that. When you write a copy, speak like a host welcoming someone, not like a brochure listing amenities. Instead of amenities included, try, here's what we've created for you. Instead of our property offers tranquility, try, you'll have a quiet place where you can unwind and breathe. Hospitality is a human business. Your digital voice should reflect that. If it feels too formal, too stiff, too generic, it loses the warmth guests crave. A simple rule, write to one person, not the world. People do not book rooms, they book feelings. And photos and videos communicate feelings faster than anything else. Show real guests having real experiences. Show breakfast. Show the porch at sunset. Show the fire pit. Show the trailhead. Show the cozy nook where someone reads a book with coffee. Don't worry about being perfect. Phone content outperforms polished, stocked imagery because it feels real. If guests can see themselves in the moment, they're already halfway sold. And short form video is becoming the backbone of discovery for younger guests. They don't search with words, they search with visuals. Give them something that feels authentic and alive. The fastest way to level up your marketing is to rewrite features into feelings. Your property does not sell rooms, it sells comfort, escape, togetherness, and memory making. Instead of private balcony, try a quiet place to sip your coffee before the day begins. Instead of complimentary breakfast, try a homemade breakfast waiting for you every morning. These micro shifts build emotional connection. And emotional connection creates trust. And trust creates bookings. Also, keep your voice consistent. If your website sounds formal, but your social posts sound playful, and your email sounds transactional, guests feel a disconnect. Make all your communications sound like the same host. Let's do a quick exercise. If you were going to rewrite the headline on your homepage, what would you say that feels human? Your current headline might say something like, "Welcome to our historic inn," or "Your home away from home." Those are fine, but they're not personal. Try something that speaks directly to the experience you offer. For example, slow mornings, cozy rooms, and the breakfast everyone talks about. Or a quiet place to rest, reconnect, and feel taken care of. Take 10 seconds and think about one sentence that captures your experience. Keep it in mind for now, and take a moment later to make it even stronger. This exercise is simple but powerful. Guests should be able to read your headline and immediately feel something. Let's talk about one of the most underused growth strategies in independent hospitality, the second booking. Repeat guests cost you almost nothing to acquire. They stay longer, review more consistently, and refer more friends. But most properties accidentally ignore them because they're busy chasing new guests. A simple email every few months or every month, a personal thank you message after their stay, a small loyalty gesture. These are incredibly high ROI actions. The repeat guest is the gold mine sitting in your marketing list, and nurturing them is easier than ever. Automation is not cold. Automation is not impersonal. Automation is simply consistency at scale. Pre-arrival emails help guests feel prepared. Post-stay emails help you capture reviews. Anniversary emails remind guests of their last stay and invite them to return. You can use templates, but keep them warm. A simple, friendly tone goes a long way. Automation done right reinforces hospitality, not replaces it. Think of automation as your digital front desk doing follow-up on your behalf. Remarketing is one of the most effective tools you have. Here's how it works. Someone visits your website, looks at rooms, checks availability, leaves. Classic traveler behavior. They're thinking, comparing, and pausing. Remarketing lets you gently remind them, a small ad that brings them back, a personalized email if they abandon the booking, a targeted message that says your perfect room is still available. This isn't pressure, it's a service. People get busy, they forget. A reminder often nudges them back into the decision they were already leaning towards. And with Google Analytics feeding cleaner data into your marketing tools, remarketing has never been smarter. Social proof is one of your strongest marketing assets. Real guest stories convert better than any ad you'll ever run. Feature testimonials on your homepage, share guest photos on social, highlight returning guests. This signals that other travelers have trusted you and loved the experience. And remember, people don't trust perfection. They trust sincerity. Guest photos taken on their phones often resonate more than professional shoots. Social proof says you belong here too. Now transition into one of the most important parts of the entire presentation, measurement. Measurement is not about tracking everything. It's about tracking what actually matters. There are only a few metrics that directly influence decisions for independent properties. What channel brings you traffic? What channels bring you bookings? What channels bring you revenue? How effectively is each source converting? When you know these things, everything else becomes clear. You know where to spend money. You know what to stop doing. You know whether your marketing is increasing visibility, improving trust, or simply burning time. Vanity metrics distract you. Likes, impressions, reach, even some forms of engagement. These are signals, but they're not outcomes. The question is always, does this activity create revenue or bookings? Your data should feel like a compass, not a burden. One of the most overlooked parts of marketing is looking at when your guests actually book. Your booking insight tells you when travelers are planning trips, how much lead time they give you, how long they stay. If your average lead time is 28 days, for example, you know exactly when to run your ads and your campaigns. If you see that most of your reservations come in on Mondays or Thursdays, you can time your social posts, emails, and promotions to match. And here's the big one. When you know how far out guests book, you can adjust your pricing strategy to match natural demand instead of guessing. If guests normally plan 60 days out and you're not raising or adjusting your pricing until 14 days out, you're missing revenue. Or if the booking window is shorter and you still receive a lot of reservations close to the check-in date, you need to realize that before you lower a rate, when demand will still be there. Marketing and pricing work best when they're connected to real booking patterns and guest buying behaviors. This slide is simple, but it is powerful. Your marketing dashboard, whether formal or informal, should tell a story in 3 steps. How many booked, where guests came from, indicate buyers' behavior, website performance, how much revenue those bookings drove. If a metric doesn't support this story, it can go. This mental model keeps you focused on outcomes, not noise. It also prevents over-measuring. I see many properties drowning in analytics without using the data to guide action. When you focus on source, bookings, and revenue, your marketing becomes leaner and smarter. You know which levers move your business. Marketing and pricing work best when they're connected to real booking patterns. Data without action is trivia. The point of tracking anything is to make better decisions. When you look at your marketing data, ask yourself, what's the insight? What should I change because of it? If a channel is outperforming, shift budget towards it. If a campaign is underperforming, simplify it, adjust it, or stop it. If your photos are driving clicks but not conversions, revisit your pricing or your messaging. If your direct bookings spike when you send an email, send more emails. Marketing is ongoing small adjustments. The data is not there to impress you, it's there to guide you. In a world where AI and automation are everywhere, the human touch becomes even more powerful. Large brands can outspend you. Large brands can out-automate you, but they cannot out-human you. Your warmth, your voice, your hospitality, these make guests feel cared for, and guests remember how they felt. That memory is what brings them back and what makes them leave glowing reviews. Your marketing should reflect the same hospitality you offer in person. When your digital presence is warm, personal, and sincere, it sets the tone for the entire guest experience. You already have the advantage. You just need to let it show. Let's share a quick example that illustrates how powerful authentic communication is. One property sent out a newsletter that wasn't a promotion or a discount. It was simply a heartfelt note about the season, the experience they create, and a reminder that guests are always welcome back. That email outperformed every promotional email they sent all year. Why? Because it felt like hospitality. It felt like a person talking to a person, not a brand acting like a transactional machine. This is the kind of communication that wins today. People want something real. They want to hear your voice. They want to know there's a human being behind the business. Authenticity converts better than perfection. Trust grows when everything a guest sees feels aligned. Your website, your social media, your Google listing, your emails. These should feel like they're all coming from the same voice and telling the same story. When your tone changes dramatically from one platform to another, guests feel friction. They sense inconsistency, even if they can't articulate it. And inconsistency creates doubt. Consistency, on the other hand, builds trust. Even small details, like using similar photo styles, similar messaging, and similar tone, makes guests feel safe choosing you. Predictability builds loyalty, and loyalty is the heart of long-term revenue. Align your marketing with the experience you deliver is what creates the kind of consistency guests trust and respond to. This is the cycle that powers long-term growth. Marketing sets the promise, operations delivers it, reviews confirm it, marketing amplifies those reviews, and the cycle repeats. When marketing and operations are aligned, you create a seamless guest journey from discovery to checkout. If marketing promises relaxation and personal care, but the stay feels rushed or transactional, guests notice. If marketing promises adventure and warmth and the stay delivers exactly that, guests turn into ambassadors. Think of marketing and operations as partners, not separate departments. When they work together, reviews get stronger, trust compounds, and your visibility grows. Let's bring all this together. Visibility wins attention. If you can't be found, nothing else matters. Authenticity earns trust. Your voice, your photos, your presence, these create the emotional connection that leads to bookings. Data drives actions. When you use data to guide what you do next, your marketing becomes more effective and less stressful. So here's my challenge for you. Choose one change you will implement this week. Not a big overhaul, just one improvement. Update your Google listing, refresh your photos, rewrite your headline, review your rates, send an email to past guests. One step creates momentum. This is the heart of everything we've talked about today. The best marketing feels like hospitality. It feels like a human connection. It feels like care. Good marketing is not manipulation or gimmicks. It's communicating the experience you genuinely provide, your experience. When your digital presence feels like the experience you are offering, warm, welcome, thoughtful, guests respond. They trust you. They choose you. They return. Marketing works best when it reflects the hospitality you already know how to give. Thank you all so much for spending this hour with me. I hope this session gave you clarity, confidence, and practical next steps you can implement right away. It's been a pleasure to share this with you. I wish you an amazing year of growth and unforgettable guest experiences.